After a breakneck start to the year for tornadoes, May 2023 came in like a lamb. Between January and April, some 595 tornadoes touched down, the third most on record. 63 people died. Then May hit, and severe weather flatlined across the lower 48. The plains, typically ground zero for the atmosphere's unrestrained fury, went silent. Then, a week and a half into the month, everything changed. On Wednesday, May 10th, a pocket of high-altitude cold air, low-pressure and spin began digging through Southern California into Arizona. That so-called short wave was nestled within a dip in the jet stream. Weather models simulated that disturbance would head for Colorado. I drove to Denver, where thunderstorms quickly blossomed during the afternoon hours. Storms near the metro quickly became messy, but a pair of rotating supercells materialized near the Palmer Divide. You can see visibly the striations in the clouds. It was feeding off of enhanced twist thanks to air splitting around the mountainous terrain, resulting in easterly winds at the surface. From beneath the roiling storm clouds, a landspout snaked its way from the ground to the underside of the supercell. The dusty column of wind lasted approximately 2 minutes. Unfortunately, road construction cost me 10 precious minutes heading north, causing me to miss additional tornadoes near Akron. Thursday, May 11th featured a dual severe weather risk as our sprawling low-pressure swirl pushed over the Great Plains. One target zone was beneath the core of the spin. Temperatures were cool, but plentiful shear, or changing winds with height, dropped a string of tornadoes in northwest Kansas and eastern Colorado. At least 14 touched down. I decided to drive to Oklahoma instead. Though there'd be less spin, warmer temperatures and greater moisture meant more juice for storms. Thunderstorms were set to erupt along a dry line, or the leading edge of bone-dry air from the desert southwest. I headed to the town of Comanche, riding down the H.E. Bailey Turnpike. That's where a better moisture would make for stronger storms, and winds out of the southeast would bolster low-level helicity or twist. The first storm fired around 5 o'clock just west of my location. In the distance, I spotted a thunderstorm that was towering to 50,000 feet tall. But I noticed a series of orphan anvils downstream of it. Those were leftover ice clouds where the moisture below had evaporated. That was a sign storms were still fighting to strengthen. Nonetheless, the storm was a nearly 10-mile-tall column of robust rotation, a low-precipitation supercell spinning serenely through open fields.
The secret to a supercell thunderstorm is its rotating updraft. Air spirals inwards counterclockwise, rising like a barber's pole to 50,000 feet or higher. Then it cools down, crashing down with rain and hail on the right.
Over those pastures, the supercell whirled and whirled, making little sound aside from the periodic rumble of distant thunder. Eventually, it evaporated from the bottom up. Around then, however, a clumping of thunderstorms was developing along the H.E. Bailey Turnpike just southwest of Oklahoma City. Each was showing signs of rotation. On a whim, I drove 70 miles to the town of Dibble, just about 15 miles southwest of the southern OKC metro area. As I approached, I noticed a towering cloud to my left or west, which seemed to be leaning. That's because night was falling and the low-level jet stream was beginning to ramp up. In addition to tilting the storm, it was helping to twist it. Arriving beneath the storm was otherworldly. The entire sky was spinning. This was the rotating updraft, the spinning part of the supercell thunderstorm where air spirals upwards. On the right hung a rotating wall cloud. That marked more focused rotation that could produce a tornado at any time.
Hey gang, MyRadar meteorologist Matthew Cappucci in Dillon, Oklahoma. I believe we are only about 2 or 3 minutes away from getting a tornado right over here. This obviously the rotating supercell thunderstorm. This is spiral updraft over there. That's a rotating wall cloud that any moment now could produce a tornado. We're seeing rotating rain curtains too. Sirens blaring. Look at this inflow. Moisture rushing in from the south to fuel the storm. And again, right over there, that's where we're watching for a potential tornado. Really any moment now. Wow. A little bit out of breath. I had to climb up on top of the vehicle. You see rain and hail swirling around. That's a rear flank downdraft wrapping around on the backside, tightening the circulation. Again, that wall cloud getting closer and closer to the ground. The forward flank downdraft, where the rain and hail come down, is actually way up there. But this whole thing, I mean, look at this. This is simply mesmerizing to see the structure this intense, this close, this ominous. Right over there, a tornado will form any minute.
Imagine something the size of Mount Everest floating and spinning like a top. The air is still, but the constant peal of thunder and sense of imminent danger remind you of nature's caprice. The scene was punctuated by the piercing shriek of my cell phone, alerting me that a tornado warning had been issued. As the wall cloud churned closer, I relocated east, mesmerized by the aquamarine glow emanating from beneath the leading edge of the advancing storm. Behind me, the storm bathed in the delicate pink and amber hues of sunset. It would have been peaceful if it wasn't for the funnel cloud now protruding from the storm's base. From there, I drove north on dirt roads, paralleling the organizing funnel. I noticed an RFD cut where the rear flank downdraft, or the cold air wraparound, was slicing into the wall cloud. That was tightening the circulation. As I continued north, it appeared closer and closer to producing a tornado. I knew I had to get in position. Then I drove beneath it.
This is the rotating part of the storm that any second could produce a tornado. You can see a rapid rising motion. The air obviously is all swirling towards the same place. And yeah, any second now we could get a tornado.
Suddenly, the winds picked up, and they changed direction. I knew a tornado was forming, so I blasted north. 90 seconds later, a tornado was on the ground.
We are seconds away from tornado likely touching down near Tacoma, Oklahoma. Rapid rising motion. Over here, obviously the funnel cloud has been reaching closer and closer to the ground. We're what's called the notch, the little area that's mostly precipitation-free, just north of the funnel cloud. Obviously, it's very close, and I would venture to say it probably has a ground circulation on it.
Amid the chaos of the moment, I forgot to take a picture with my Nikon camera, snapping only this shot from my iPhone instead. Then it was time to move again.
Your current time is about 8:47. Here's the old circulation. That was a tornado that was on the ground. It appears we may have a new one on the ground, or a new one trying to touch down, again, near Cole, Oklahoma. One cool thing you can see is this little sort of slot right here. That's what we call the rear flank downdraft, the cool, dry air wraparound that pushes in, tightens the circulation. That's why this old circulation died, sort of moved into what we call the forward flank downdraft, called the right inhale up there, and then the new one is forming back there. This is what we call a tornado family. One member of the family dies, the next one forms. That's what we're watching for right now. So again, it's impossible to tell. That very well may be on the ground. Gonna check into that, and of course we'll report back. But in the meantime, actually, it appears there may be a tornado on the ground right over there. In any case, if you're in Cole, if you're east of Cole, Goldsby, Norman, be in shelter now. Lowest floor of whatever building you're in and avoiding windows. Mobile home vehicle outdoors. You want to be in a site-built location, protecting yourself from flying debris. But again, we're watching this tornado. Actually, right there. That might be right there. If you're in Norman, Goldsby, be in shelter now. Lowest floor of whatever building you're in and avoiding windows. Mobile home vehicle outdoors. You want to be in a site-built location and protecting yourself from flying debris. I'm getting rain here right now. This is a rear flank downdraft. The cool air wraparound that's tightening the circulation. You can just barely see intermittent vortices on the ground. There's one right there from this whole low-hanging log cloud. But again, multiple tornadoes. There's a brand new funnel on this side. It's tough to see.
Smaller funnels began forming next to the new tornado. The tornadoes were officially rated at EF1 strength, with winds to 105 miles per hour. 8 tornadoes have been confirmed so far, but more will likely be logged in the days ahead. The quick drive back to my hotel featured an area of rotation that almost dropped a tornado on me long after dark. Sirens blared as that new storm became increasingly ominous.
You know, whenever it's nighttime, obviously you can't see the circulations coming. Many of these have been wrapped in rain. They're kind of, very slow moving, so the rain can sort of wrap around them. And that's why on nights like tonight, you want to make sure you're heeding the warnings, you're getting to shelter when you need to. You're not going to see it. You probably won't hear it. And these things have a history of producing tornadoes very quickly.
The 4-day episode produced nearly 90 preliminary reports of tornadoes. I couldn't chase Friday or Saturday, though, as duty called in DC, but you'd better believe I'll be out there again soon. Until next time, gang, thanks so much for watching.